This is the new £222,000 McLaren 750S, the replacement for the now legendary 720. It may look similar on the surface, but McLaren says this is an altogether different animal. Almost a third of its parts are new or have been changed, with upgrades that make it lighter, more powerful, faster, and more engaging, both in coupe form on track and as a £240,000 Spider, which we'll begin our tests with on the road.
And here's the big change: extra horses, 750 of them, 30 more than the 720S. And you get more torque, 800 Newton meters, also an increase of 30.
0 to 62 is polished off in 2.8 seconds, a tenth quicker than the 720S. To put that into context, it's a tenth quicker than the more powerful Ferrari 296 GTB. The legendary Aventador SVJ needs 8.6 seconds to reach the same speed. You'll need pretty sensitive eyes to be able to tell the difference between the 750S and the 720S too. Apart from a few minor changes, it's a case of blink and you'll miss it. The main changes concern the front, which is smoother than it was before, with a body-colored bumper and slightly smaller skull-shaped headlights. The roof is the same as before, taking 11 seconds to open or close, with a small section on the tonneau cover for storage of very small items in addition to a large frunk. The rear, meanwhile, has that lovely sounding all-new center exit exhaust inspired by the P1 and a 765 LT inspired wing that's 20% larger than before. There are some other useful changes too, which you'd expect given the 720S and 750S are 7 years removed.
Okay, first up, we've got a new infotainment system which comes with Apple CarPlay as standard. There's also a new instrument binnacle. So on the 720S you had a instrument display that folded up or down, it was motorized. Here it doesn't move unless you adjust the steering, it goes up and down, in and out, so it's always visible and in your line of sight, but it does lack that little bit of drama compared to the 720S's system. It comes with sports seats as standard, but these are the optional comfort seats, which are fairly nice. Or if you want to go one up, you can go for the track seats or the seats that you get in the McLaren Senna.
In terms of daily usability, we also get an updated suspension system with springs that are 6% softer at the front and 4% stiffer at the back, which really helps ride comfort on the road.
The other thing I like is how involving it feels. It's got new engine mounts, so you can feel a bit of vibration coming up through your bum, through the chassis, which makes it feel a little bit more involving. And also when you combine that with the sound of this new exhaust, the sound of that whistling from the twin turbo V8, it's such an emotional car. You feel really connected to it. It puts a smile on your face without you even going quickly. We live in a world now where everyone is obsessed with power. If you're not making a car with at least 800 horsepower, or better yet, one with 4 figures, then no one's interested. But McLaren have gone a very different route. This thing is light. Can you feel that lightness everywhere? First of all, you feel it under acceleration because the car is that much lighter, that much more powerful. It just wants to take off. Oh, it just feels alive in a straight line. Where most modern sports cars tend to feel so heavy, there's so much inertia. When you get on the brakes into a big braking zone, it just feels under control, it feels tidy. It feels like the brakes bloody work, which is an amazing compliment. But you also feel it in the corners. The car is tremendously agile. There's a lot going on here. The big question then, has McLaren done enough? Well, you know what? If I owned a 720S, I don't think the 750S would be enough to convince me to upgrade. But if I didn't have a 720S and I was looking for a sports car that's fast, engaging, light and fun, I know there are more modern sports cars out there, but the 750S is enough to make you think twice. This thing is a beast.